G'day guys, how's it going? And welcome back to another episode of Hardcore Minecraft. Today we are in the Nether having a look at a couple of things that I did off camera. There wasn't a massive amount because this took a lot of work, but still it's starting to look very good. We finished up some of the walls up the top with the basalt, and we've started to texture in with some stone. I'm thinking it's looking alright, but I think I also need a dark colour to mix with it. As you can see, I also tried to landscape a little bit down the bottom there and make it look more natural, and I'm thinking it's come up alright. That's the other thing. We did use andesite as well. We also joined up these bridges down here. Let's go for a fly and have a proper look. So we've joined up this little area around here, and I'm thinking that I'm going to use that lava waterfall thing there as a nice feature. That's still undecided, but we'll see. But for today's episode, we are actually going to be in the overworld once again. We're having a bit of a resource problem with our current build, and we need a lot of nether brick. And my old super smelter over there is just not keeping up. So instead, we are going to be building this, which is going to be a 64 furnace super smelter in this area here with a bamboo farm on top that will feed the super smelter with fuel. Because the other thing is we are also having a little bit of a problem with fuel at the moment. Because I haven't been doing too much mining, we don't have a lot of coal and we don't have any other alternative sources of fuel, so I'm going to need to go out and grab some stuff for this build, but other than that I think we're ready to go. So for this we'll be jumping into our first third-person time-lapse of this episode, and then we'll be heading back over to the Nether and making a little bit more progress on the new piglin village. So let's see how we go. Let's do it. And it's all finished. This took way longer than I care to admit, but it is finally done and working. We had a lot of troubles with the redstone, and that was probably the key problem. We did this on stream the other night, and it just took... oh, it was nuts. I ran into so many problems. So after the stream, I looked up some handy ways to make some circuits that would help out in this situation, and we've come up with a pretty much fully automated design. I think it is, actually. So this is the input chest up here. This is the output chest. Then up the top we have our bamboo farm, which is running by a flying machine, which is harvesting the bamboo, as you can see in this little window here. And I've had to put in some piston circuits because the bamboo was getting caught up on some glass down the bottom here. So if we can maybe see, the bamboo gets caught up on this ledge here, and the pistons push it off onto the collection system, which is down in this area over here. So hopefully the hopper minecart will come back in a second. Yep, here we go. Now it starts to load up once it's got some stuff in it. So now it's loading up with the bamboo. Now that it's finished, it heads off and fills up all of our furnaces with the bamboo, which I think is a pretty good system. There's one thing I'd like to fix on it, which is it leaves too early. So I've got to figure out why that's the case. Up here with the bamboo collector, it comes in and feeds through an unloader, which is super quick, which is awesome. And it's doing its job quite nicely. So let's take a look at how this baby runs. So we've got some... do we have any left over? No. I'll go and grab some netherrack and we'll pop it through and we'll see how well it goes. Alright, we've got a stack of netherrack now. So if we put this up in here, it should start the whole system. So let's take a look. Pop that in there. That'll be unloading for a second. And now the minecart should get sent. We should see it start lighting up all the furnaces. once it actually gets sent. Where is it? There it is. And here we go. Was that it? Actually, no, it wasn't. Now this one's it. Now all the furnaces should get lit up. If not, we've got a problem. Yep, looks like they have. And now we just wait here for the collection system to start grabbing. And once again, this one's not a fast unloader either. This one's just a standard unloader. Although it does work pretty quickly. And there we go. That was 64 bits of nether brick. I think. Maybe that was 62 actually. We are getting 2 less of each. So we've got to figure out where that's going actually. We'll have to figure that out. Disappearing nether brick. Not a good thing. I'm not 100% on that one. We'll figure that out. Anyway, I'm going to keep cooking some nether brick for a little while, and then we'll start on our project over in the nether. We've gathered a fair bit of the nether brick. We still need to get a little bit more, I think, but we'll see how we go. Now, the idea for this part of the build is that we are going to create a staircase that comes down from here and leads down to this section down in here. We're going to fill up this area here, and that's going to be our forge or smelter for our piglin village. Because as we said in a couple of episodes ago, this village is going to be sort of like a trade village. It's going to be gathering the gold from the nether, and it's going to be smelting it down, and it's going to be sending it off to another city in the end, which we haven't started building yet, but I think we've spoken about that on a different episode as well. So the plan for today is we get the stairs down and then we build that little base up there and see how it works. So let's test out the build design for this and see how it looks first. The 2 blocks we're going to be using is nether bricks and stone. And I think what we're going to do is test it out against this basalt to see how it looks. But the idea will be that the nether brick will be the main part of the structure. And then the stone will be what is sort of framing it, if that makes sense. And we want to check to see how it looks against the basalt. Let's just fly out and see the color scheme here. It's dark enough. I think that will work. Obviously, we won't be using just stone blocks. We'll be using stairs as well and some slabs, but I'm just testing the color, and I think that's going to work against the basalt. Once we get rid of majority of the netherrack as well down there, it should look heaps better. It should stand out really nicely. Yeah, I think that's good. That's going to be fine. And with that all sorted, let's start our second third-person time-lapse and get the floor in and then start building up the stairway. Let's see how it goes. Staircase is looking pretty good, I think. I'm not 100% sold on the stone. We might end up swapping that out for some black stone and then putting crying obsidian in the middle, maybe. Similar to what we've got up there. That requires a lot of buttering with the piglins, but I think that would look a whole bunch cooler. I'm happy with the idea of the nether brick. It's just the stone, I think. The stone doesn't work with the basalt. That's unfortunate. So we've got a little bit more grinding to do to get this part done. But something did happen while we were down here building this, and I'll roll the clip now. we were building up onto the staircase, and for some unknown reason, I hit the space bar when I was trying to place a block, and I jumped straight off and fell into the lava, and it was close. It was very close. I think we ended up getting down to about 2 hearts, but the key problem was my hunger was full, and it wasn't regenerating. So I don't know what happened there, whether that's a standard thing that normally happens, but we had to wait until we could eat to get some regeneration, and that was about 2 hearts. I was flustered, so it wasn't good. But all in all, this place is looking pretty nice. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with these lava, like, what are they called? Lava fountains? I don't know, whatever these are called. I'm not too sure what we're going to do with these, whether we're going to keep them or what, but we'll figure that out. Stupid ghast. Blowing up all my stuff. So yeah, I think this is looking alright. The overall design is fine. Like I said, it's just this block palette. I don't like the stone. So if we fix that, that should look fine. We ran into a couple of problems with the auto smelter, and I had to go across and fix that. We said last time that the unloader for the fuel wasn't working well enough. It was leaving too early, so I've changed that circuit around completely. So let's go and have a look at that. So I've changed the loader up to a design by Exumavoid, and it makes sure that there is a certain amount of items within the cart before it gets shot out. So the problem that was happening was it was leaving too early and it wasn't filling up these hoppers over here, or these furnaces. As you can see, it's starting to fill them up now. And that was a key problem, because if we ran it through and these ran out, every time some bamboo was placed in, if it was an insignificant amount, it wouldn't stop so that the fuel could load up, if that makes sense. So this seems to be working a whole bunch better. It has to have that amount in there to run, which is awesome. Now we just need to make sure that we are getting enough bamboo, which comes to the next thing, which is next episode we might change this so that it's a whole bunch of minecart hoppers and it picks up as it goes, if that makes sense, and then feeds into this over here, which means we'll get rid of this module, but we'll be recreating this module all the way across. So this is turning into a pretty big thing. I hope it doesn't cause too much lag. It shouldn't, but we'll see how it goes. All right, guys. Well, we've run out of time for this episode. We've already run overtime. This episode was supposed to come out Friday. It is now Monday, and that's not good. But there's a lot of stuff going on in my out of Minecraft world life, if that makes sense. And it's just it's a little bit hectic, but hopefully we'll get back to normal very, very soon. Next episode, we should be getting into finishing off the staircase and finishing off the piglin village, and then onto the big project of the bastion. And once that's done, we might move back to the overworld and start our next project. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this episode, and thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. All right, bye for now.